Try it again from the top.
You around your Rome, you do as you please, having so much fun, gonna lost your reason after all is said and done. Are you still having fun?
You're gonna think about it. All right, we need to start running tomorrow's song. We've turned the volume up a little bit, and I think it's the next step. When I made the first album, I thought a lot about wanting to make an album that's a good starting point, a good beginning, and I'm someone who listens to so many different kinds of music, and I have a lot of ideas, and I actually really have to keep myself focused on not doing too much, and you know, and that's easier said than done. Trying to keep it focused, trying to keep it simple, and then, you know, slowly but surely you can start getting all the different ideas in there. And I think that with the first album, I really did keep it low-key, keep it fairly acoustic, and then knowing that probably on the second album, I can start getting a little bit more electric guitars in, and that's what we've done. Desireless was pretty melancholic and quite introspective and quite dark in some ways. And I listened to the present future, and it's like, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm doing pretty all right. It's pretty positive, happy music in many ways, and that's a reflection of how I'm doing, you know.
I'm burning for you, and the truth has been spoken. There's nothing to do. Yes, I'm burning up.
My parents bought a house in the southern part of Sweden, and you know, as a kid, you know, there's nothing better than growing up in the countryside. And you know, I just run out the door in the morning and run back home, grab a sandwich, and go back out in the woods. You know, so it was a very good time. We moved to New York when I was just getting into my teens. I was just turning 13, and I mean, once you start becoming a teenager, you don't really want to be in the middle of the countryside of Sweden. It's not something I recommend. What was I doing? Trying to stay out of trouble most of the time, and I was mostly working as an actor, and whatever that means, you know, in many different forms. But I got out of school performing arts. I started auditioning for different jobs, and pretty quickly I got my first job. And after that, I really didn't have to do any normal 9-to-5 stuff.
As you please, having so much fun, not a lost reason after all is said and done. But are you still having fun? Then how is it to know when you've gone astray? And happiness would go like a lost emotion. You have always gone your way. Are you happy today? Well, you know when you've been defeated, you don't care. No one feeling low, you will always need it. But now you're having fun.
Ready to rock? You know, my plan was not, all the success that we had with the first album was not my plan. My plan was to make a record in Stockholm and hopefully sell enough albums to kind of, you know, get to make another album. And eventually, you know, maybe, I mean, you all have dreams. I had dreams and stuff, and I've pretty much experienced it all off of the first album. So I'm going to have to, you know, write a new book of dreams or something. I don't know. I felt like you want to groove it for a minute and then just end the song. I mean, we've already been playing for like 5 minutes.
But it's just, you don't want to go like...
I think I've picked the tempo up a little bit, and having been on tour now for about 2 years, that obviously has rubbed off a bit on the record. And this record was recorded very live. You know, when you hear the tracks, it's basically what you hear is what we played. I was in LA at the Grammys last year, and this big guy with this big beard came up to me and said that he thought my record was one of the best records of the year. And I was like, but you're Rick Rubin. It was just one of those things, kind of getting all and jumping off the edge. You know, Rick was calling me saying, "Do you have the songs?" And I was like, "Not yet." You know, but he is. What's great about him is he is so much about the songs. And once we kind of got together and I played him the tunes that we had written, then he just said, "No problem. We got it. You know, we're there." And Rick is so much. He really taught me about the art of simplicity. Because I mean, I used to talk about that out for the first album, but now I really know, and it's just about keeping it focused and not doing more than you need to do, just to, you know, you don't want to distract everybody from everything, just straight on. Thank you, and could also get some still water. Okay. I think that step of going into working with someone like Rick Rubin was that first kind of move into you know, because that's what happens. People make a record, very often kind of low budget, just do whatever, and then it's a big success, and then you're supposed to work with some big name. And I think that what I knew was important, part of why I ended up in Stockholm, was I needed to know who I am musically before I start listening to everybody else. And now I know what I will do and what I won't do, and I can say, if someone comes with a stupid idea or whatever, I can go, I'm not doing that. Whereas if somebody comes with some good ideas, I'll be okay. So I think it's really about knowing who you are and not having to compromise where you want to go with the music. Så det var nog det att jag inte sjöng Nennes vers. What is Nennes verse? I keep forgetting it.
I don't
I believe
I'm not afraid
of pride. Yeah, that's what it is. On the right side, don't betray what I believe in, even.
I'm not afraid of pride. When it's for the right side, don't betray.
I guess I started writing some lyrics for Tutillo on her album, and then I had the pleasure of having people like Carlos Santana call me, and you're going, what? You know, having them ask if I wanted to do a track for his album, and them sending me a groove and sitting there and trying to like write a tune for a legend like Carlos. It was a bit overwhelming, but after I met him, it was like meeting an old friend, and he kind of brought me back to a lot of what my father was about musically and his peers. Carlos is a very spiritual person, and music is a magical thing. And at that point, I've been on the road for months, and it was a bit of a reminder because I kind of lost my eye of the, you know, sight of the horizon or whatever. And he kind of reminded me of a lot of what's important when making music. So then I just went back to the hotel and wrote the song.
He's going back to Georgia, 'cause he knows time and time has come. Don't even know if she'll be waiting, 'cause he's been gone for way too long. How long will you stay? Boy, you don't got 9 lives to waste. How long will you stay? Saving time, losing grace. She didn't believe. She didn't believe. She didn't believe. She didn't believe. She didn't believe.
Getting on stage and playing is what makes sense. That's what always makes me go, that's why I put up with all this madness. Knowing from the beginning that is so important, I think that's kind of why I actually managed to think it's still fun, because I really kept my eye on that, and you know, still think it's fun to play Save Tonight, which, you know, is a song we played many times, and I'm surprised. I really am.